Hello, hi Rajivji, Kamal here from Mirasagi.com and a warm welcome to you today once again on our show Jadi Chai.
Thank you, Kamalji. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Rajivji. How are you doing?
All good, Ji, all good.
So, Rajivji, we have a few queries here from our listeners.
Go ahead, ma'am.
The first one here says, how can I file for an H1B petition if I have less than 6 months before my passport expires?
Um, I'm assuming they are India born.
Right.
That should not be a problem. You can still apply for H1 if the passport has less than 6 months left. But
Mm-hmm.
as a practical matter, passport renewals are very, very quick in USA. So I'm not sure where the problem is. When you send it to the consulate, Indian consulate, it is my understanding it's not more than a week, 10-day process. Um,
Okay.
in Washington, D.C., I haven't checked for a while, but it used to be like a 24-hour process. So I'm not sure what the problem here is. You could apply even without renewing, but it's best to just renew the passport.
Mm-hmm. The second question here, Rajivji, is another listener of Mera Sangeet who says, is it really required? One second. How can I'm currently on H1B visa. Is there a way I can change the visa to F2 without going back to India? My fiance is here on H1 F1 visa, and this visa is valid till September 2014.
They can convert or change of status. They can change status within the United States if they have never been out of status.
Mm-hmm.
So once they get married, they can apply for an F2 within the United States. Yes.
Okay, and further, the listener writes that after getting married to a green card holder and applying for a spouse visa, is it possible to apply for H1 visa?
Okay. Is this the same individual or a different individual?
There's the same person has, I mean, he sent another question.
Oh,
I mean, this
okay.
is another
Okay.
situation here. He says
Because
after getting, yeah.
I'm just thinking if they're just kind of weighing out their options whether to get married to a student visa holder or to a green card holder. So, the way it works is once a green card holder, well, first of all, H1s are not in any way heeded or hindered, not heeded, hindered by an existing green card application. So if you have a green card application, that would not in any way impede or create problems with your H1 application. That's important to
Okay.
realize. Okay, so therefore, if you do apply for a green card, it does not in any way stop you from applying for an H1 after it's been filed or before it's been filed.
Okay. Finally, another query from a listener here who wants to track the H1B petition. So the question here is, how will I know if my H1B petition has been accepted in Dakota?
Um, well, I think the quickest you can find out is if your employer's checks have been cashed, the fees checks. If the receipt is getting delayed, just have your employer follow through and see if your fee receipt has been cashed. In that case,
Mm-hmm.
it's almost certain that you've been made a part of the lottery.
Okay. So these were the queries sent in by our listeners, Rajivji on Mirasangi.com. So it's been a pleasure talking to you as well and getting their queries answered as well.
As always, Kamalji, real quickly, I also want to talk about the state of the immigration bills, what's going on. So
Right.
let's start that next week,
Mm-hmm.
S744, the bill that was uh, first proposed by 8 senators
Right.
on the Senate side, 4 Republicans and 4 Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
That bill was then it went to the Judiciary Committee where it was amended. Some amendments were added on, and now the
Okay.
amended bill is due to be brought before the full Senate, where it will be voted upon and amended further or approved or not approved. Well, it won't. It will get passed through the Senate because there is a Democratic majority there.
Mm-hmm.
But the latest is one more Republican has dropped off from the bill, from the gang of
Okay.
eight, the original sponsors. Um, so that makes things a little bit shaky. What the Democrats need is at least 60 votes in the Senate. Otherwise, the bill can be frustrated in Senate through a process called filibustering. What is filibustering? Basically, in filibustering,
Mm-hmm.
a member of, because there is no limit on how long a member of Congress can talk, they can just talk indefinitely about anything, even like reading a phone book. And
Okay.
that's one way to frustrate the bill. So
Okay.
in order to overrule filibustering, they need at least 60 votes. And on the House side, there are more problems. House is Republican controlled, so they have their own ideas about the bill's passage. Um, if the bill in Senate passes by 70 votes instead of 60, conventional wisdom is that that puts a lot of political pressure on the House to pass the bill. But House is
Okay.
trying to come up with its own version, and there is a lot of disagreement within the House between Democrats and Republicans. They can't come up with a agreed upon version. So it looks like this bill is not going to have smooth sailing so far. But of course, politics can change, things can change at a moment's notice. Right now,
Mm-hmm.
the most important thing is that the bill is scheduled on the Senate floor sometime next week. Okay, just thought I'll let
All
you know.
right. Okay. So yeah. So we'll again talk about it next week, Rajuji, when we speak with you, and maybe of course there'll be a lot of positive happenings there.
Certainly hope so. Thank you, Kamalji.
Yeah. Thank you, Rajuji. Have a good day ahead.
You too, ma'am. Pranam.
Yeah. Bye bye. Pranam, Rajuji.